I hope it's fair. So,
I am okay. Oh, I guess we're on. I guess we're said what? I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Okay, I don't know. It's, I looks like we on. What's happening, bro? I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today. Seems like StreamYard is trying to kick me out, yet kick me out, not. But what we up in here? Can y'all see me in the chat? Let me know in the chat. So I can go ahead and get this party started. Put red and blacks in the chat. I don't know what was going on with that. StreamYard was going to something totally different. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Not even for certain on what we got going on. What is up, you all? Lee 85G. What's happening? You can hear me in the chat. Let me know. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. Yeah, don't be surprised if I get kicked out of this because it's not looking good. You feel me? I don't know. It's moving slow. Can y'all hear me? Y'all need to try to mic up. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. No, that's too loud. That's too loud. That's crazy. Like the screen went white and I couldn't even see nothing. And I'm looking like, what's going on? So regardless of what, I'm gonna give people a little time to get up in here. I'm trying to tell people I'm going on early. It's 9:35. Sometimes I can't make it at 9:35. So what I start doing is I'll start doing my shows at 6 the evening time. It could be the conversation on your drive. Crazy. Now it's like it's loading my. I don't know what's going on. That's crazy. It was. Can y'all see me? That's crazy. Whatever. So just in case y'all want to talk early, y'all that early convo during the evening. Pretty much just give you my takes. I was gonna talk about not Michael Pennis. I was gonna talk about James Jr. and his situation, but like I said before, I'm gonna just leave that alone. We understand that some suspensions can come, you know. Um, how much of the suspension we gonna get? I can't really say, just because I'm like how much would they has been um, is gonna possibly get everything that he is dead and gone, and like he as long as he go through his rehabilitation or whatever the case may be, how much suspension should he get? Like what would be a good number? You know, you got people talking about some kick him out of the league and all this stuff like that. So I don't want to get into that legal conversation and all that stuff because when you speak on certain things and you have an opinion or whatever, uh, conflicting texts and conflicting guns, and if yours don't align up with theirs, we're just gonna leave it. And today, let's talk about it with the Lochness. We're gonna talk about it on this Tuesday at 9 p.m. EST. We're gonna talk about who will be commanding the offense this season out of Michael Penix. Once again, loading me up. So I can see. Come on, StreamYard. Don't do it to me, StreamYard. I got 24 eyes on me right now. It's moving slow. Let me just continue if I mess something up. So, this. That's crazy. Like I said, it just kicked me out. Like I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be happy with my show. This is crazy. Okay, let's continue. Like StreamYard is trying to knock me out the box. StreamYard don't want me. It's a glitch in the matrix. They like this man don't normally come on this early, but we coming on early. My apologies for StreamYard. We're gonna continue. That's crazy. I knew this thing is moving stupid. On my screen, it was like kicking me out, saying stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even touching anything. It's crazy. So, like I said, let's talk about it with the Lochness on Tuesday. Lit, we live, we out here. The Lochness podcast. Like I said, I normally would have my Lochness podcast shirts, but we're gonna go ahead and just put an Atlanta Falcons shirt on with the backwards, breast cancer hat to the back. You know what I'm saying? So the conversation really, or the show is really going to be focused on Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr. Like the injury prone, two quarterbacks that injury prone. For some reason, that have you ever had people like when you get something good, they try to find something bad about it? Well, we got Tua Tagovailoa for the mere pennies on a dollar. You could say, I mean, $1 million to us is like that's a lot of money, but $1 million to an organization like the Atlanta Falcons, that's a steal. You get a starting quarterback for $1 million is a steal, and he's serving as a bridge quarterback at that. One thing I need everyone to take into consideration is the fact that even last year, Tua Tagovailoa, he had a down year. He had a bad year, and he still completed 68% of his completions. Xavier, what's happening? He still completed 68%. I think it was 68, 63, 68 completion rating. And it was still better than Michael Penix Jr. And I say that to say this. You don't want to rush Michael Penix out there. You don't want us to do a repeat of history. You don't want us to say, okay, you technically don't want another Kirk Cousins situation where Kirk Cousins stunk up the place and they put Michael Penix out there early. And we got the Michael Penix experience. Pause a little early. And then because they was like, hey, because it's like we want instant gratification. Everybody knows that we want instant gratification. We want this to be, we want to basically get instant return on our investment right then. I don't want to wait. As soon as you go in, he better throw 50 touchdowns. He better look like Pat Mahomes throwing all those touchdowns. If he ain't gonna be that, so understanding that what we're asking Tua to be is a bridge quarterback. We're asking Tua Tagovailoa to be, hey, be just a cushion to allow Michael Penix Jr. time to get adjusted, time for Reese to work with him, time for them to assess his healing process, time for him to assess his mental state, time for him to see, like, you don't want to get, like, even if, just saying for instance, we're winning, we're like 4-1, starting the season off, 4 wins, 1 loss. And knock on wood, something happened where Tua can't be the starter anymore, and it had to be Michael Penix. You want Michael Penix to be, you want to put him in a mindset, okay, we're already in a winning, we're already winning. So he's not forced to be like, we want you to bring us back like the replacements. We want you to bring us back. We already want to have a winning culture, a winning season starting off, where you're basically, situations happen. You're coming in mentally, you're not asked to be, because like I said, we want to run this Stefanski-led offense, this Tommy Reese-led offense from the offensive standpoint, the play action pass, the play action, maybe a read option. But I see the play action, Stefanski-led offense is play action really, where we want the person to be up on the center. Tua Tagovailoa is up on the center. Michael Penix Jr. wasn't on the center. So then you want to have it to a point like a Tua Tagovailoa is put in position. So when they're operating the play action, and the one reason that we always talked about last year, the reason why Michael Penix Jr. couldn't go up on the center, he was hurting, or he couldn't bend down, or he couldn't do this. Now they can fully assess whether or not, maybe he didn't feel like, they'll say some stuff like he didn't feel comfortable doing that. You can't be a professional. You can't be like somebody like a wide receiver talking about, well, I don't really like running street routes. Put me on a slant, out and in, a corner route, I'm your guy. But a street, I ain't trying to run straight. I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable running a slant through the middle of the field. It's like, what? So I listened to a podcast before, and they said one of the things that gives Tua kind of a shoe-in is the fact that Tua is more accurate when it comes to shorter passes. Okay. So when assessing both of these quarterbacks, Tua is the more accurate and the more experienced QB. It will only make sense. It will only make sense that we go with the experienced quarterback. They're trying to play this game with y'all when they'll say something like, "Oh, we're trying to assess and see if it's going to be Tua, if it's going to be it's going to be Tua to start. Let's just be 100%. It makes only sense to me. Maybe this is just me and my assessment with my eyeballs. I wanted to get on here today and say the teammates, obviously one of them is expected to be the guy, but we're a team that don't say anything other than both can have the same goal. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm going to allude to. So you get You guys loading me up again. Oh boy, this is a real show. Because I swear to you, StreamYard do not want me to do the show right now. It's crazy. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's all the same guy. Because you don't want to be like, he's our, and somebody's going to be like, and it's like, well, I'm not going to go as hard if I don't know he's the starter. Or they already told him, hey, we're going to assess your healing. We're going to, with, I don't know what's going on. This, can y'all see me? Because on my side, it's still, this is crazy. So yeah, we want them to have the same goal. Said Tua is a more accurate quarterback, and he had, even with a bad year, still looked better than Michael Penix did. So as a bridge quarterback, that should give us a little bit more. It gives Michael Penix a little bit more cushion, and we should can breathe. I'm not going to talk about Jack Strand again because pause that, but because he's a future guy that he has, like I said, he's a little raw, pause, with his footwork, but he is, the prototypical 6'4" guy, movement, high IQ, huge arm, pause. But everyone raving about how Tua looks, how accurate he is, but they also say there's a real competition, so that means Michael Penix is looking good as well. They already be leaning on towards Tua. I honestly think they should lean. I think they should lean towards Tua, period. Anyway, just because on a, hey, let's assess your injury, let's get you acclimated. If how comfortable you can be up under center, because we're going to be running the play action. We're going to be running the action pass. You do out of that in the what? I don't want to mention his name. The other offensive coordinator, that's Robinson. But it's understanding, like, to me, it just makes more sense to say, hey, Tua. But like I said, they both are looking great. But in the mindset for my eye test, it's not full pass. It's not an actual game. It's, I'm standing, chop, 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 boom, go to my progressions. 1, 2, go to your progressions. We're seeing he always had the arm talent. We know Michael Penix Jr. always had the arm talent. So we're not questioning his arm talent. It's about being able to step up in the pocket, being able to assess and see what the defense is giving you, and then being able to get the ball out of your hands into making those simple passes. My guy wants to fling that guy. And the one person who's good at doing the most basic passes between the two quarterbacks is Tua, with the more experience, the more touch. So when they say putting touch on the ball, he has the more touch, because we've seen Michael Penix overthrow people. We've seen him get a little anxious in the pocket. We've seen his footwork in the pocket. It looked abysmal. Michael Penix's footwork in the pocket looks atrocious. It was like he was doing pirouettes or something, and he turned around. I'm like, what the fuck is, like, what are you doing? It just looked weird. And if he just didn't look comfortable in the Zach Robinson, I hate to mention his name, he didn't look comfortable in whatever they had, Raheem Morris them had this man doing. He didn't look like he was with none of it. So hopefully, like a Tua Tagovailoa being here will help him. And maybe Tua can be like, hey, I'm a left-handed person too. I'm a left-handed quarterback. He can lean on his experience, and he can also have him to lean on, like, hey, I've been through injury too. I've been through concussions, and how I didn't think I can come back, and I was laid out. And this, people, that can be the guy. Because when you sit on the sideline and you got somebody like Kirk Cousins that's really not really talking to you, not really leaning on you, not putting your hand on your shoulder, not putting to pick your helmet up, my boy, like, when you don't have that, it doesn't matter, like, the mental, like. And then with my boy Mike MPJ, going through what he's going through, and you hear the noise of everybody chirping, yeah, you suck. There he go again. Why we pick him up? Because when we drafted him, the first thing, oh man, we got the third best quarterback out of the draft. Yeah. Why wouldn't we get him? And then some people was like, why would we get him when we got Kirk Cousins? And it was just like, I just think that he was just rushed out there too fast. And situations happen. Like, y'all, we have to understand everything is by design. I keep on telling people that. If we didn't have, just think if we would have been doing well this last season, we would still have Raheem Morrison here. We wouldn't have Avion Sorrell. We wouldn't have a Zachariah Branch. We would probably have other people. I need y'all to understand that. So some things happen by design. This is the best. From when I close my eyes and y'all tell me, I close my eyes and y'all tell me, and somebody say, hey, we're going to give you 5 years, 3 years of being 7-10, 2 years of being 8-9, no playoffs. Or we give you a whole new regime. You keep your components of your nucleus of your offense. Your O-line pretty much stays the same. We give you arguably one of the best offensive coordinators, offensive lineman coaches. We give you somebody that can build the trenches. We give you one of the best defensive line coaches. And then we give you an all-star legend like Matt Ryan, making some decisions and having his hands all over the sprinkling the ingredients and stirring the pot with an Ian Cunningham. Or you can keep Raheem and Zach Robinson, be another 8-9. Michael Penix, you don't know what you're going to get. Zane Gonzalez. Like, if you close your eyes, I'm pretty sure you would say, hey, I would take that new regime, because what we've already had, we've been there. This is one of the things I had a problem with when it came to even Stefanski getting picked up. And people was up in an uproar. Stefanski, like, he made Shador look bad, and look at what he did with the Browns. Look at what they've been doing with the Falcons for 8 years of losing. Look at what they've been doing with the Falcons for 8 years of losing. They say, what is the saying? What is this saying? I got to look it up because I want to say this saying. When they say the saying where, you do the same thing, you're crazy to think that you're doing the same thing would get like different results. We should want to change everything. We want to be out of here, but then still there. It's like it's loading me up. I don't know. It's crazy. But then they get mad about who is here. They're like, oh, we don't want this person. We don't want this person. We don't want that person. And then movie. What movie is that when it's more is it more is that lady? When people ask for like courage, do you think that's basically what this is? My thing is up in the mindset, but the mindset is you ask for change. Get these people out of here. Do that. It's not like you're going to get exactly who you want. You're going to get an opportunity to have change where the people who didn't want there anymore is no longer there. And they tried to pacify the aspect of Matt Ryan being hired. He's supposed to be the savior of the Falcons. This fan sometimes, some people in the fan base, not all, is delusional. We're not asking, like, they want us to be like the Eagles. Have all of the balls up there and can't pay none of them. You're on point again. People have the old mindset. They don't like the optics of the bottom line is moving up. Yes. Like, it makes no sense for them to, like, we have to move on from that. Like I said in my past shows, we have to be, this is going to be what we're going to be for the next 5 years. Because if you take the last 5 years, we were losing. Why would we want to keep losing? We did so many different things that were good, that can get different results that most people don't even recognize. Hiring like Matt Ryan, proven love of the city. Proven love. They didn't love Matt Ryan until he was really gone. That's when they gave him the love. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at him bringing, like, oh, he's supposed to be the savior. Anything better than what we've been doing. I'm trying to look for somebody to galvanize this team. Why not have somebody that has played years for this team, has showed up for this team, has been through the trenches with this team? Then wow, like, that's crazy to get some. And they want more people from the city, because that last guy we had over here, I had pictures with this man at a party, and this man gonna get mad. He traded to the Cardinals and then say 28-3. I was glad I never put your pictures up, my boy. Like, that's crazy, because they don't want people that's really there. I'm just here for a check. We want people that's rooted to the city. You're gonna play harder for the city. The problem is the people think that they're trying to take the culture out of it. Yeah, they're not taking, man, we still gonna be Atlantans. AT aliens. We don't call ourselves Atlantans. We call ourselves AT aliens. If you really from Atlanta, you would know we call ourselves AT aliens in here. We don't call ourselves Atlantans. I had somebody say, I'm a student in Atlantan. I said, you sure? We call ourselves AT aliens. We don't call ourselves Atlantans. Where you from? Right. But they are completely wrong. This is the strongest cultural league we've been this great time to be a Falcon fan anywhere. Exactly. We finna change. The funny thing is about this team, people are afraid. They're like, oh, you know what they were saying? Yeah, Kyle Pitts need to exercise him going on. Boom, sign Kyle Pitts. You know, Kyle Pitts finna ball out. Kyle Pitts finna ball out. Kyle Pitts finna ball out. We finna see Kyle Pitts in his first year. You hear me saying this? And I was like, I'm a fan of Kyle Pitts. And a part of me is pissed off, like I told you. If Kyle Pitts see my show, if anybody's connected to Kyle Pitts, and y'all can tell Kyle Pitts, hey, the Lochness podcast, the Lochness podcast needs you to sign his jersey. He handed to you, and he handed to you in your face, and you said you're not signing you only signing kid stuff at training camp. I need my jersey signed. Hopefully I get it signed this year. I'm going to get it signed this year, because I'm going to run up on him. I'm like, Kyle, you remember? No, I ain't going to do that. But, yeah, but because he's at on point, look at how many people are UGA or born close to the ATL state at one college. We have a team of people literally from Atlanta. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, like, and I live down the street from Westlake High School. I live really close to Westlake High School. It's a couple of times run down the street, boom, make a left, boom, Westlake, where AJ Terrell, Cam Newton, all of them come from. Raven Johnson, all these people come from. But it's like, you want people that's rooted in the city, so they'll be there and playing for the team, because then you'll feel it in here. You'll have more pride. You know, you'll take it personal when people come to your city, man. So, I really want this team to play everybody play every team this year like the Saints. I want this team to look at every team like they're the Saints and play them with the same, the same tenacity, everything. Because I feel like when we come through that when we play the Saints, we really go hard. We really be like, oh yeah. We really go in. Hey everyone. E-Mac, what's happening? So, like I said, the mindset to me, between Tua, like I say, Tua and Michael Penix, Tua is starting, y'all. Let's not think Tua isn't starting. Tua is starting because it just makes more sense. You didn't pay him $1 million for him to just sit on the bench. You paid him $1 million to say, hey, bro, we just gonna need you to play a couple of games, maybe play half the season. If something happens, we just gonna. You already get Miami money. We're good. Get Miami money. We just need you to be a bridge quarterback for Michael Penix Jr. So we don't have to. Then once Tua does his one, we can move on. There's a lot of people on long term. We don't sign AJ Terrell. We don't sign, Kyle, Drake London. Now, and that's like skill players. That's that. Tuesday, everyone. Miss, I can't see StreamYard acting crazy. It's like I click on it, put it up there. So like I said, but out of the two, we already know, putting out of the two, Tagovailoa. We already know Michael Penix Jr. has the stronger deep ball. Like this, what's happening, Maggie T. Cunningham. Out of the two, we already know that Michael Penix arm talent. He got the arm talent, just his legs and them knees, man. His footwork in the pocket was atrocious. And I know they talk about trans footwork. He needs to work on his footwork. Michael Penix needs to work on his footwork too. I honestly think, and like I said, a shout out to the coaches, that the coaches that we have assembled are coaches that can get the job done. I don't think Matt Ryan them are Stefanski's gonna be dancing like he was showing his little chicken ass legs, doing like this, losing season. I'm gonna be 100%, man. Raheem to make us look good, man. And I said this when we first got Raheem, the dream, like he was a dream, like he was coaching that dream. I said he has an opportunity to be raised up in Atlanta to the highest. If Raheem Moore would have been successful here, he would have been. And this is the about Morris, and I'm not trying to keep prolonging on this guy. Is we improved by one game. We went 7-10 3 years to improve by one game 2 years. So technically, he was successful with based off the last 3 years, but take wins, championships, and wins didn't equal up the playoffs. So I said it, like if we would have. Yeah, that's what I get. But the thing about that is, like I said, everything is by design. I mean, look at me. Look at the line. What I'm saying is, look into my eyes. I know I make my eyes look black. We needed this thing to fail last. Y'all, we needed this thing to lose. Y'all. We needed this thing to lose. StreamYard do not want me. I'm telling y'all, StreamYard do not want me to do this show. That is like keep me out, and then I had to come back. I'ma still continue. That's crazy. Like StreamYard do not want me to talk about Raheem anymore, so we're gonna just skip past him. But we needed this to happen, y'all. We needed this. We needed this to. We needed. We needed him to. Honestly, I hate to say it, it ain't really us going against a black man. It's like we needed this team to lose because we was the trajectory that we headed into. It wasn't. We needed a complete overhaul, and this is a blessing in the root and change a reward of the plants. We need to change the food we sprinkle on them. We need to change the around to high the sun so we can grow into something. That's not winning culture. We're trying to create winning culture. So Michael Penix, like I say, what's happening? What's happening, man? Mike? Sports, what's happening? So page out of your book, like Matt Mike said, is like I say, Kyle Pitts. He's gonna be great this year. And this is the reason why. He said talk the organization in a conversation, it felt great that people like you. A lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of uncertainty there. It's a lot of uncertainty. When you this is on ahead and letting them know, hey, we believe in you. And that does a lot for your mental state. And it wasn't a black and white thing. Okay, my boy. When it comes to us, brothers or sisters in a position. So, as a melanated brother, we have a different standard, my guy. Because you don't see in this nation, 8 million, Atlanta, Georgia, like you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was all him, but head coach and the quarterback. So when it can't, and like I said, it's not all on him. But if I'm a store manager at my job, anything somebody does for a lead, a shift, I'm responsible for. But when it comes to the not being of black coaches, African coaches, melanated head coaches. If he would have been successful, he would have been raised in the city. Because he was not raised in the city. He's an unprofessional about along the field. And that's just how and what they're gonna do with they're gonna do with that is they're gonna say, hey, see, that's why we can't have coaches. We can't have coaches. So you can say certain aspects, it turns more than likely. I get what you're saying. It's a lot of off the field stuff that was unprofessional. It was a lot of like on the field. That was he was just getting it. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. And losing. And I'm like, when do you have time to dance? Yeah, I guarantee you. I mean, he has a job somewhere else, obviously, but it ain't no head coach. He said even the players. I mean, not even being able to sit timeouts to accurately help you suggestively make better coaching situational football calls. He said injuries, they mishandling of the media, handling a play calling on 3 faces, mishandling handling money. Like I said, it was all over the place because I think because they were allowed to make their just like decision making was allowed to a point. Now it's not allowed. Now let's bring Brian to oversee football operation. Let's get a Tua Tagovailoa to be a bitch quarterback. Let's talk Pennis and see where he is. Regardless of he's throwing in the pocket right now, I still feel comfortable still giving him another 6 more weeks. Because even though you went through the process in your rehab, I don't know how your rehab is, but his rehab is, but I still would say give you a cushion, give you an extra time to not be so hard pressed to come out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you say, hey, I'm going to give you another 6 weeks of training, who's going to be mad at allowing more time to be more efficient? He said even the headsets wasn't working. Yeah, man, it was a bad juju all around, man. We got that up out of here. So regardless of what, and I'm almost at the 45-minute mark. So one thing Michael Penix needs to do is he also needs to work on his touch. Learn from Tua. Like that's a blessing in disguise too, to have 2 left-handed quarterbacks where with experience who can also move around in the pocket, who can also teach up Michael Penix Jr. Because you didn't see Kirk Cousins talking to Michael Penix like that. Let's just be 100%. They wasn't on the sideline kicking. Kirk Cousins was really just waiting on his opportunity for him to fail. It seemed like for him to run in there and still stunk up the place, regardless of the last 4 games. The last 4 games when it didn't even matter. If we would at least won one of the games against the San Francisco, the Jets, or one of the games, San Francisco, the Jets, one of the games, Miami. Like I said, we needed this to happen. We needed this to happen, y'all. And unfortunately, it did. And fortunately, it helped us create a different environment other than what we've had for the last 5 years. We can go on. So because like I said, it's from like I was when I was alluding to the saying Kyle Pitts, it feels good to feel like, hey, they want me here. they like me. So Kyle Pitts finna ball out, man. Kyle Pitts finna ball out. That's crazy. Raheem and Terry were doing so much irresponsible things. Arthur called Mac, and he goes through you. Yeah, everything goes. Yeah, hey man, because he was loved in the city, man. He wasn't loved when he was playing. He was loved when he really exited. When he exited the building, that's when, oh my God, we miss Mac. Why are you going to the Colts? Or it was like, we had to let him go because we wasn't doing him no good here. Because they didn't have the guys in the building that can build a sustainable product. That's why we had to uproot everybody, get everybody up out of here, regardless if we 8 and 9. Y'all gone. I'm done. 8 years of it, almost a decade of losing. And then people like sell. No way. On my last question before I get up out of here. Who is going to be this season? That can be something that I want to talk about next show. And just right. What's the team going to be? I remember when used to go, when we was losing, like we weren't getting the respect. Atlanta was never getting the respect. Roddy Wright was on the team. He had the audacity, Roddy. They go on, I don't know what it was, ESPN. He was like, hey man, they're gonna give us our hate respect, bro. I want people sleeping on the team. They didn't look at some of the offseason moves that we made. The draft was awesome. Awesome draft. That was just like, honestly, Terry Fontenot's, his last he showed every pick was like, oh my goodness. And then the undrafted people like, damn, how you get these people? Hey man, where you find that? They positions where we were lacking at. This is a scary team. I hate the idea of them. I think Ubrick going into like the coaching portal or something like that, saying sending him, talking about him going on into a head coach. I was like, damn it, no. They need to talk to Ubrick and be like, hey, my boy, like, what can we offer you to get you to continuously? Because we don't want a carousel of coaches. When the New England Patriots had all this and they winning all those, and personnel he had wasn't bad. We need to keep. I'm just saying, like, he's gonna run something. As much as I root for Tua, has carried himself. See, I press it one time, it's coming up. So, okay, carry himself very professional and like a true leader. Something I haven't saw in like maturity. Like I said, you can go ahead and Tua can go ahead and give him. He can talk to him. He can show him how to be, a PR presence, being a QB1, having that PR and that presence about you, to be able to take the accountability as well. Because anybody praise, but can you stand in front of the camera when they scold and they saying, look at what you did. You threw 3 picks, my boy. Like, what was going on with you? And you like, I wasn't there. I'm gonna have to do better next time. I'm gonna go to the and I want to see because I know my boy married now. I need to see MPJ, like, and whoever. Hopefully, I need to see this team. I need to see y'all jumping in the gym, my boys. Like, y'all take a L. I need y'all to go. Let's go get back to it. For me, I just feel like, but I want them to have fun when they do it. This is still their job. But at the end of the day, when we going against, and that's one of the reasons why they picked up Stefanski. He was on one of the other coaches that had experience. He was the only head coach that would have had prior head coaching experience and have faced adversity. People don't understand that when you're faced with knowing how to deal with a certain situation, you're faced with knowing how to deal with loss, you're faced with knowing how to be the bottom of the barrel, you know how to come from that. It teaches you, and that those experiences. Have you ever seen people get in big moments and fold because they haven't been, like, we've seen that with like the Eagles. They were getting big situations and Jalen Hart would look atrocious. And then he came back and he made Pat Mahomes them look like some. We ain't gonna talk about that Super Bowl, but that's how it is. So you want the experience to teach them. That's why you get the better coaches. You get the better coaches that can bring out the best in players, and you want them to execute. Hold them accountable at the same time. Like, hey man, you missed that block. Not that we got that no nonsense coaching staff. And we want them to, be, jamming on the thing. You know what I'm saying? We want them to, welcome to Atlanta where the players play. Like Matt Ryan said, they put that out on shirts. I need one of them shirts. Somebody give me one of them shirts. Somebody can get me an extra large with a players play shirt. I would appreciate it. Hit me up, find me on Facebook, hit me up in my inbox and tell me, hey, I got you a shirt to Lochness, because they was giving them shirts out. They was coming from the little parachute, but they never give them to my section because I'm in the Dirty Birds nest. We get shirts, but we didn't get those shirts. Maybe we get those shirts this year. Maybe I'm gonna hit Ardelia up. I was like, we gonna get them shirts. I want one of them players. I got somebody that can make me them shirts, but I want one of their shirts. You know how it is when you can make your own shirt, but you want one of their shirts because you like free merch. That's what type of time I'm on. Something about being fired that brings the best out of a man. Love Kevin and to a lot of the additions like Dotson and Bootcamp. Even Bill Callahan came in and chip on the shoulders, looked like at JPJ. Yeah. I think, like I said, this coaching staff, pause. This is a great assemble of Avengers. They didn't assemble these Avengers, but this team is gonna look very. That we gonna see. Like I said, what is this team gonna be? Are we gonna? We hear everybody know that our defense is. Like I said earlier in the show with JPJ, him having everything expunged, but him still being somebody that represents the shield, or you represent the brand, but you have everything expunged, and you're going and seek the help and getting the help that you need, and things are moving in your favor. I don't think my boy should be gone for no more than probably 2 or 3 games. And that's just my personal opinion, because I feel like on that JPJ situation, to bring it back, like if you've not been convicted of anything, but they still want to hold you accountable, 3 games. Like, but if there was a video of him popping, like doing whatever, like, yeah, nah, then you don't bring him ass back. But or if he go back to doing the same old shit, then get his ass up out of here. Like, then that's when you like, bro, you didn't learn from your last mistake. But then that's why some people need big brothers too. And I'm gonna leave that alone. I think this would be a very methodical, grind out type team. Very, 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 very traditional with a little flair here and there. Yeah, because you got those type of executors. Make him better. Because Matt Ryan was throwing to this guy. You remember when you were doing this, and then he can play when Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts was the only person he had to throw to. But Pitts to be, we need a hits a game 5 of 8. I need him to get 5 catches out of 8 targets, 75 yards a game. You get 8 targets, give me 4. You give me 4, half of Drake London. He's a more possessive possession. I say possessive possession receiver. Same thing. 5 catches, 5 to 6 catches, 80 to 100 yards, 115. If you feel like going off, 120, 125 yards a game, all-purpose yards, catching, running, 65 running, 40 catching, like when it adds up to 135, 125, 125, you can, Dotson can be at 50. It's gonna be a share the sugar type offense, and that's what we want. We're gonna be once upon a time, we was number 1 offense and number 2 defense, or number 1 defense and number 2 offense. It was like one time. Number 1 and 2. We had the best offense and the best defense, like damn near the best defense. We were number 1 and 1, something like that. Best offense and the best defense. So this team, we're honestly quarterback play away. They said that we're honestly great away. So we're contenders. We just need to be more consistent. Can we sustain and be more consistent? We want to follow consistently. That's what we really need. I don't like, even when a great defense, feel like I said, we was giving up the middle like it was nothing. We had no run stop capabilities at all. In the middle of the field was just there for the taking. So from what they have gathered, even one of the rookies, what is it, Perkins? Like I said, this team is going to be nasty, man. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be traditional play. It's going to be execution. It's going to be very methodical, like you said, very traditional, very intentional, paying attention to the details, executing your job. You do your job. I need you to go on this breaking route, and I need you to block so he can get it. I need you to breaking route, slant to the right, take it in the middle of the field. I need you to go ahead. I need you 3. I'm gonna give it a Zach Branch. Branch, you to some speed, and you torch the defense. You just keep him. We're gonna keep him behind, and then our guy Drake London. He's just a beat. Like Drake London's always been my guy. He was my people who was gonna get dude from USC. I said, bro, we're gonna get Drake London. I was in Chick-fil-A when I said, I looked around, I looked at everybody in that draft. I said the Falcons gonna draft Drake London. I mean, it was Drake London. I said, go look him up. Okay, yeah, have him and Kyle. Yeah, okay. And then we draft Drake London. That's why I need to get Drake London. If somebody know Drake London that looks at this, hey, tell Drake London. I was almost about to get my jersey or my football. I thought I had my football signed by Drake London. I was right there. And we was at the pep rally. Them girls all grinding and trying to touch on this man. I think this man got a wife or a fiance or something. Y'all grinding, let that man. I'm like, look at, like, my people was calling him to come over. I was like, oh yeah, my boy finna hold on, I'm finna come. I was like, oh, my boy finna come over here. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, hey, shout out to Jesse Bates, because Jesse Bates came up. I took pictures, Bates, but I was like, okay, Drake London though. Is my that girl little short. It messed up everything. But old girl can take. I was like, they took one picture. Oh, I ain't like that one. Give me. I was like, you. Down to consistency on both tackles and quarterback, the kicker, those positions, those skill positions can stay healthy. We can shock. We can shock the world. I remember we made it to the Super Bowl. People were saying Atlanta ain't here. I remember when Mike Epps was saying it. I knew it was messed up. I was like, Mike Epps, why would you say that? Out of the whole NFL ever in the NFL with Matt Ryan. Let's imagine if we can incorporate that same year into this new age. And extreme yard for action just was Lochness, man. You can follow me at the Lochness podcast on YouTube. And if anybody shows up at the training first, the first is for season ticket holders. So if you first, the second, I think it's the 31st, the first, and the 11th. So the 31st of July, the 1st of August, and the 11th of August. I will be there. I probably have my Lochness shirt. I might have some little yellow specs on just to try to make a different for herb. Colors outside in the sun. I'm gonna just be 100%. I love my squad. It's gonna be like you for a squad, but I'm this podcast shirt. It's gonna be yellow with some yellow visors, sunglasses, just so because it's gonna be hot and blazing out here. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody for stopping by, sitting back, listening. If y'all pull up, I'm gonna try to get there early so I can be in the front in the seat. So if y'all see me and you're like, "Hey, Lochness, can I get a pic?" Boom, just post it to your face. Sign for y'all. Like, hey, anybody who know Bijan, I might bring this. We might bring this thing. I said it before. If I can find another, I saw this. So I grabbed it. I was like, I gotta get this. And I was thinking, like, get another one so I can get him to sign it. Get him to sign it. Open it up and get him to sign actually on the figure, right? And put it in. Take video footage of it so they can authenticate. Sign it, and then he actually signed the twine a leg or something. Because I would say sign outside of here, but I would rather want the actual thing. I can find sign it. I gifted to one of y'all. I get 500 subs. I just send a thing to you. Give me a PO box or wherever you live, and I get my people to send it. But I appreciate everybody. We out. Go ahead and go check out everybody doing Atlanta Falcons content. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and represent everybody in AFN, Atlanta Falcons Nation LLC, Mad Max Sports. Check out Jude. Check out, 6 Man. Check out everybody. People that's, just doing content. Locked on Falcons. It's a lot of people, man. Savage. It's a lot of people, bro. Check them all out. Then tell them, hey, man, the Lochness sent me over here to check y'all out. There's another content creator doing content for the greater Atlanta area. Feel me? My Atlantans. This thing, I don't even know if it's going to let me end it. But also check out the Ladybirds, too. Let's go.